What's up guys, my name is Volpe and I would like to talk to you about 9 things that I enjoyed the absolute most about my trip to Cyprus. The way I usually approach visiting a new country, but especially an island, is how I would approach playing a video game. So I want to set up a base in an area that interests me in terms of geology, so it has the most amazing sights, the most dramatic scenery. Then I will look up what is nearby and is it easily accessible to the rest of the island. Are there good roads? Is there good infrastructure? Are there convenient things like a gym, a place I can swim? The rest will just follow through from there. Cyprus, I figured that place would be Latsi and Paphos, because that area of the island has beautiful lagoons, bit of everything, as opposed to places like Napa, which are more tourist aimed and party centric and a little bit more remote from the rest of the island. So my choice was Latsi. I was really interested in exploring the Akamas Peninsula because you have the absolute best hikes within the smallest kilometer radius. So it's doable within a 2-3 hour trip without exerting yourself on 5-hour long drives. The island is very, very drivable. I absolutely love the roads. Yes, I come from a country which drives on the right, but adjusting to driving on the left was not a really big problem. You often see a car with a red license plate, a rental car, and they will make the mistake of driving on the wrong side of the road. But the surrounding traffic is not going to be aggressive. Everyone is very laid back, very relaxed, and that is actually one of the things I really liked about Cyprus in general. People are very, very chill. People are very friendly, really open, very laid back. A lot of people also speak English, so there is very little of a language barrier. History. The history deserves pretty much its own video, but it has this strange layered atmosphere. You have Greek influence, Turkish influence, British influence, and all of this wrapped up in this modern day bundle of explosive culture. You constantly feel like there are so many different things stacked up on top of each other, but they somehow work really well in harmony. And the island feels old in a really grounded sort of way, so it's just very, very natural and rewarding. Of course, one important point to say here is that you are a visitor, so be respectful of the island's culture. Do not try to insert yourself into the political situation either. For instance, my guest house host actually told me that he has never visited the north of Cyprus because it feels wrong to him to have to show his passport to visit his own country. But then he also said that he has friends, many young people nowadays just drive across the border to refuel because the gas is cheaper there. The food. The Troodos National Park. That place is so vast, so big. There is tons of things to explore. It's got a forest, it's got mountains, it spans a really large amount of kilometers. So if you have the time, you can easily spend a week in there and just feel like you're in a completely different place than the coastal resorts that you are used to when you probably think of Cyprus. The absolute abundance of things to do. Like you can hike, swim, enjoy time on the beach, but also enjoy time in the cool shade of some grotto, and you can explore, but you can also have a really calm day at a coffee shop and just take your time with whatever you enjoy doing at the moment. I personally liked is that there is an easy to access gym pretty much anywhere. I went to a local gym, which I really enjoyed because it was inexpensive and it was just there for me, and there were people there who were very friendly and gave me some tips on what to do, so that was really fun. I also think Cyprus has more variety than people expect. You drive up the mountain roads, you can visit villages, but you can also go to a large city like Limassol. You can visit tuning shops, have even like circuit racing events, you have car shows, but you also have gyms, observatory you can go up to and see this amazing building with a beautiful, beautiful architecture. You can go into a party neighborhood like Napa and just enjoy time on the beach with your friends and go to a party late at night. There is literally no end to what you can do, and that is very, very nice for a lot of people. So I think that's what makes it also an appealing place to move to. A lot of islands start feeling repetitive after a few days, but surprisingly with Cyprus, that was not the case. At the end of my week, I still felt like there were so many things that I did not do and so many things I did not see. From where I was staying in Latsi, I actually took a day trip to see Kyrenia, and I thought, well, I might just do a day trip. And it was really not enough time to see all of the north. There is a lot more there, and I didn't even manage to find the time to see Nicosia. Personal one, it is the accommodation that I personally chose to stay at and how amazing that location was for me. It was in the mountains, it was in a village called Neo Chorio, which is kind of like a little bit remote, but close enough to things that you can just sleep there and then drive somewhere the next day. It had a swimming pool and I pretty much had the whole place to myself. The host just talked to me on WhatsApp and we constantly shared information. Like he gave me tips on what to do. Actually told me about the Smigis mountain that you can drive up, park next to, and then go up and hike. It's only a 30-minute hike and you get a fantastic view of the entire Akamas pretty much. So that was really nice. It also had a really beautiful terrace, an amazing swimming pool that I used every single day, and I just had a blast. That was a highlight. I will link the accommodation name in the description so that if you want to stay there, you get to do that. Honestly, I think if there's something I would have done differently is just spend more time on Cyprus. Just do different things, go to different places, because I did not go to the east very much. I did spend more time around the area where I was staying, and you have to keep in mind that if you do think that it's a day trip, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, it's probably going to be longer than you think, because there are a lot of off-road places. Yes, I did mention good roads, but if the road is not covered, if it's not asphalt, then you will have need for an SUV, a 4x4, and I did not have one, so rent an SUV, go to all those remote places, which are also very high payoff. Spend more time in the east. Last but not least, the cleanliness. I was surprised by how well maintained a lot of the beaches are. There's very few places with obvious trash lying around, and I found that to be very, very pleasant. You also find good swimming facilities and toilets where you need them and are reluctant to use due to hygiene problems. So that was great. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is still a relatively new channel, so if you could like, share, subscribe, I would be so grateful. There will be some new videos coming out, travel videos, and I'll be going through some events and also sharing some of my art projects. So that is what this channel is for, and see you in the next one.